I just wanted to chat today about patriotism and what it means, and also globalism, who they are, and why we should be fearing them. A lot of people don't know and don't really hear, so I'm hoping that some of my people will hear this and pass this on. Globalists are the world's elite, the richest people on the planet. They control 60% of the world's wealth. The other 7.2 billion of us are living off the crumbs, the 40%. And so for that, they kind of yield power that other people don't yield, and a lot of them are pretty much unarrestable. You can't charge them or prosecute them because they're too high up. They can cripple countries. Like, these people are that wound up in our governments, and I'll explain that. They have formed a thing called the One World Government, or the New World Order, and what this is basically full rule and control. It's like, much like 1984, probably a lot worse because of the technology that exists now. You're all prisoners. You're all being tracked and watched constantly through your little cell phones and your computers and your tablets and your Blackberries. They know what you're saying, what you're doing, where you're going. You know, every time you post on social media, it shows where you posted from and stuff like that, unless you turn that off in your settings. So basically, that's the monitoring end of it. But the globalists are attacking the States simply because you guys are the head of the snake. You're pretty much the richest country on the planet, and even though you've been stripped of a lot and you're in a lot of debt right now, you are still the richest planet because you have a thing called a Constitution. Money can be regotten, but a Constitution is non-negotiable. It's there, and that's what's pretty much saved your guys' butts this far. But if you don't fight, the forefathers laid that out in a way that it was non-negotiable, but it doesn't mean you didn't have to fight for it. Been fighting to keep your amendments for the last 40, 50 years or more. And basically, the globalists are attacking from every angle. Basically, the patriots wanted Trump in. Trump showed that he wanted to clean out Washington. He wanted to clean out the elites and get rid of pedophiles. And so this is all things that resonated with the American people. And they, even though Hillary had the election fixed in her favor, they showed by showing up in the voting booths, and they got Trump elected, even though she had the thing fixed. Votes, illegals voting, dead people voting. There was no way she could lose, and she lost because of the patriots in the United States. And I don't just mean the gun owners. You don't have to be a gun owner to be a patriot, right? So basically, the globalists are now, because of Trump, trying to get them out. They're also known as the deep state. Like, every country has a deep state government controlling them from behind. And the ones in the United States of America are just so spread out. There's senators right down to, and even presidents have been globalist implants, like Obama. So, and both Bushes, Clinton, they were all handpicked by the globalists because they would play along, okay? So basically now, because they're in dire need and dire trouble, they're attacking you, and they've attacked you through government. They've got other moles and their little people in there still. Donald Trump's getting rid of them, but it takes time. Corporate bullying is off the scale. I mean, as far as censorship goes, as far as, eliminating small business, causing governments to make rules against small business so it's not worth it to have a business, so that in the end, the only stores you'll be able to go to will be Walmart, Superstore, and those kind of big corporate giants. And that's what your choice will be. And then they can totally control what products you have and what products you don't have, because there's no one to compete with them, right? They've infested your schools, and, a lot of this is being blamed on transgenders, but we are just the agenda used to gain control. And basically they're throwing us under the bus. I'm not really happy about what they're doing with all these bathroom laws and stuff, and pushing, the this stuff on young children that really don't even know about sex yet, and they really don't understand about genders, and I really don't understand how they can decide if they're not a boy or a girl, either gender, right? In the workplace, they've made it for decades and decades in the workplace. They've totally controlled. It's like it's almost people go to work dreading going to work, if they work in offices and that sort of thing, because they're all very controlled. It's really pathetic what they've done. Anywhere in public, like any public venues and stuff, i.e., sports stadiums, anything like that, parks, anything, it's all the same thing. It's just politically correct agenda, and it's screwing things up. The media has been attacking you since it existed, basically controlling and manipulating what you know and what you think. And that's all the TV, and the TV is a very dangerous tool. I'll get to that. The policies they're making, like all these, bathroom laws and stuff, and other laws that are meant to inflame people, i.e. forced vaccinations and other things like that are totalitarian. It's an authoritarian structure they were creating, and now Trump comes along and ruins all that. So, and then television, like I said, is a tool. It's been a CIA tool since it was first introduced, since Saudi Duty's first broadcast. And basically, people are glued to their TVs, even in the TV shows and in the movies and even in the commercials and stuff. They're inducing all their agendas and desensitizing you to it, or seeing who agrees with it and who doesn't. This is all a way of them gaining control of you, the people.